It's 2026. You have a job. You might even have a degree. You're smart. So why does your bank account look like it was managed by a chaotic raccoon? Here is the brutal truth I had to learn the hard way. You can be a genius at math and an absolute idiot with money. Financial literacy isn't about knowing how to calculate the beta of a stock portfolio. It's about how you behave when you're bored, stressed, or trying to impress people you don't even like. So we are going to fix this. Not with a lecture, but with 8 tiny habits. My name is Max, and I am here to help you hit reset on your wallet and finally master your money. Let's start with a quick reality check. I want you to mentally answer these 3 questions instantly. What was the last thing you bought under $50? Did it make you happier for longer than 20 minutes? Does it help the person you want to be in 5 years? If you blanked on those, you are suffering from the first major wealth killer: misalignment. Habit number 1 is simple: close your value gap. There is a ghost expense draining your account right now that doesn't show up on your receipt. It's called performative spending. For years, I torched money on trendy clothes and $18 cocktails at loud bars because that's what successful 20-somethings do. But I actually hate loud bars. I like reading and lifting weights. When I stopped buying the image of success and started spending only on what I actually valued: books, gym gear, and high-quality food. Weirdly, I spent the exact same amount of money that month, but I felt twice as rich. Why? Because my spending finally matched my identity. Here is the fix. Write down your top 3 actual priorities. Then, look at your last 30 transactions. If your priority is travel, but your bank statement is 40% DoorDash and 0% Delta Airlines, you don't have an income problem. You have an alignment problem. And fixing that alignment is step 1. But to keep that alignment, you need a specific routine. Which leads us to the 20-minute habit that saved my career. Habit number 2. Become the 20-minute CEO of your life. I know. Reviewing finances sounds about as fun as a root canal. But that's because you're doing it wrong. You're probably trying to track every penny in real time or feeling guilty every time you buy a coffee. Stop that. Instead, I want you to set one money date per month. Think about it. How fast did last month fly by? You blinked, and suddenly it was the 30th, right? Without a checkpoint, your financial life just drifts on autopilot. Here is the protocol. Pick one day, like the first Sunday of the month. Block out just 30 minutes. Pour a coffee, put on some lo-fi beats, and open your laptop. No distractions. In 2026, we are upgrading this process. You don't need to manually type numbers into a spreadsheet like it's 1999. Download your bank statement as a CSV or PDF. Scrub your personal info and upload it to an AI tool like ChatGPT or Claude. Ask it, categorize my spending. What are the top 3 areas where I spent more than usual? The AI does the heavy lifting in seconds. It's what I call the AI audit. Once you see the numbers, don't try to fix everything. Don't set 10 aggressive goals like save 5K, cut all dining out, and invest 50%. You will fail by Tuesday. Just pick one focus for the next 30 days. Maybe it's lower Uber Eats spending by $50. That's it. When you give your brain a single target, you turn down the noise and actually hit the bullseye. But even with a monthly check-in, relying on your memory to move money around is a trap. We are human. We get busy, we get lazy, and we forget. So for the next habit, we are going to remove your willpower from the equation entirely. Habit number 3 is about building what I call a ghost protocol. Here is the deal. Willpower is a limited resource. It's like a battery on your phone. By 8 p.m., it is in the red zone. If you are relying on your willpower to remember to transfer money into savings or to pay that utility bill on time, you are setting yourself up to fail. We want to automate the boring stuff so you never have to think about it again. Imagine if you could sign up for a gym membership, and the membership actually went to the gym and did the push-ups for you while you slept. That is exactly what financial automation does for your wealth. You need to set up a chain reaction the day you get paid. Your paycheck hits. Immediately, an automatic transfer sends money to your fixed bills account. Another automatic transfer sends cash to your savings. Another one goes to your investments. You don't touch a single button. The decision is made once and executed forever. But a warning, there is a dark side to automation that nobody talks about. It's called subscription creep. New data from 2025 shows the average American is now wasting about $204 a year on subscriptions they completely forgot they had. That streaming service you signed up for to watch one show? That meditation app you haven't opened since last January? That is a hole in your pocket. So your homework is twofold. Automate the good transfers, savings, bills, investments, so they happen like clockwork. But ruthlessly cancel the bad automations, unused subs. Once you have this system running, you will see money piling up in your savings account automatically. It feels like magic. But here is the trap. If that money is just sitting in a regular checking account, you aren't actually saving. You are slowly losing money every single day. And fixing that is our next habit. Habit number 4. Be a boring millionaire. This is where we talk about investing. And I can already hear some of you clicking away because you think investing is for guys in suits on Wall Street or crypto bros on Twitter screaming about going to the moon. Let me be clear. You do not need to be a wolf of Wall Street. You need to be a sloth. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is, I'll start investing when I have more money. But the math says the exact opposite. Starting early with $50 is infinitely better than starting 10 years late with $500. Let me paint you a picture. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 25, assuming an average market return, you could have over $1 million by retirement. But if you wait just 10 years to start until you're 35, you would have to invest almost 3 times as much monthly just to catch up to that same number. That is the cost of waiting. Time is your asset, not just money. So, in 2026, we are keeping it simple. Forget picking individual stocks or trying to time the market crash. Look into low-cost index funds that track the entire market, like the S&P 500 or a total stock market fund. You are betting on the entire economy, not just one company. It's impossible to be perfect, but it is very easy to be good enough. And good enough over 30 years makes you wealthy. But listening to me say this isn't enough. You are watching this video, nodding your head and feeling productive. But feeling productive and actually being productive are not the same thing. This leads us to the habit that stops you from just being a passive consumer. Habit number 5 is the 15-minute rule. Look, I am going to break the fourth wall for a second. Yes, I am talking to you, the person holding the phone or sitting at the desk right now. There is a 90% chance you will finish this video, close YouTube, and change absolutely nothing about your life. You will feel good because you learned something, but your bank account will look exactly the same next month. That is the passive consumption trap. We binge finance content like it's entertainment, but we treat it like fiction. To break this, you need a new rule. For every piece of financial content you consume, you must take one immediate action within 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be massive. If you learn about high-yield savings accounts, HYSAs, don't just say, cool idea. Pause the video. Open a new tab. Google Best HYSA Rates 2026. Apply. You can literally do this while sitting on the toilet. I'm not judging, I've done it. Maybe you hear a tip about checking your credit score. Do it now. Maybe it's updating your resume to boost your income. Do one bullet point now. The goal isn't to fix your whole financial life in a day. The goal is to prove to yourself that you are an active participant in your own rescue. When you force yourself to implement one tiny thing immediately, you stop being a spectator. You start building momentum. And speaking of things we avoid doing, there is one habit that is arguably the most powerful, but it's also the one that terrifies us the most. It involves other people. Habit number 6. Break the silence. We need to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the elephant in our wallets. Why is it that we can talk to our friends about our dating lives, our therapy sessions, and even our medical issues, but the moment someone asks, "How much do you make?" the room goes dead silent? Statistics show that 61% of people would rather talk about politics or death than their own bank balance. That is wild. By keeping money a secret, we are keeping ourselves weak. We isolate ourselves in our struggles. You might think you're the only one drowning in student loans or confused about taxes, but I guarantee your friends are in the exact same boat. In 2026, I want you to try a new trend called loud budgeting. It doesn't mean you have to post your salary on Instagram. It just means being honest with your inner circle. Instead of making up a fake excuse for why you can't go to that expensive brunch, "Oh, I'm busy that day," just say, "Hey, I'm really focusing on saving this month, so that place is out of my budget. Want to grab a coffee and walk instead?" It sounds terrifying, but do you know what happens? Relieved sighs. Your friends will almost always say, "Oh, thank God, I'm broke too." You unlock a secret weapon for wealth: collaboration. You can share tips, compare investment strategies, and keep each other accountable. It costs $0, but it requires a little bit of bravery. And while we are talking about changing how we think, there is one final mental shift that ties everything together. It's about how you view time and how you view the most important person in your financial life, your future self. Habit number 7. Master time travel psychology. We live in a world of instant everything. Instant food delivery, instant movies, instant likes. But wealth is slow. It's agonizingly slow. And that is why so many of us fail. When you have to choose between buying a new pair of sneakers today or putting that $100 into an investment account you can't touch for 20 years, your brain screams, "Buy the shoes." It sees saving as a punishment. It feels like you are taking money away from yourself. We need to reframe this. Saving isn't deprivation. It is a gift you are buying for a person you haven't met yet. Future you. Try this visualization. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine yourself in the year 2036. You are 10 years older. Maybe you have a few gray hairs. Maybe you have a family. What does that version of you wish you had done today? Does future you care about the sneakers you bought in 2026? No. They probably ended up in a donation bin years ago. But future you desperately cares that you paid off that high-interest credit card debt. Speaking of debt, U.S. credit card balances hit over $1.21 trillion recently. That is a lot of people prioritizing the now over the later. Every dollar you invest is you sending a helper back in time to save your future self from stress. When you look at it that way, delayed gratification stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like an act of extreme self-love. But there is one asset that is even more valuable than stocks, bonds, or real estate. It's the only asset that is completely crash-proof. And investing in it is the final piece of the puzzle. This brings us to the final point. And it's the most critical investment you will ever make. Habit number: the ROI of you. Markets crash. Housing bubbles burst. Crypto goes to zero. Inflation eats away at cash. But there is one asset class that no government, no recession, and no bank failure can ever take away from you: your skills. In 2020s, the economy is changing faster than ever. We are seeing AI automate jobs that we thought were safe 5 years ago. This sounds scary, but it's actually a massive opportunity. The new currency isn't just dollars, it's adaptability. If you spend $500 on a course that teaches you how to use AI tools, or how to negotiate better, or how to manage a project, that isn't an expense. That is an investment with infinite returns. If that one skill helps you get a $5,000 raise, you just made a 1,000% return on your money. No stock in the world gives you those returns reliably. So here is my promise to you, and I want you to make this promise to yourself. Stop waiting for the perfect time to get good with money. The perfect time was yesterday. The second best time is right now. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to be consistent. Reset your wallet. Audit your values. Automate the boring stuff. Start investing the price of a coffee a day. And most importantly, bet on yourself. If you found value in this, hit that like button so the algorithm knows we're building wealth out here. Subscribe if you want to be financially literate in 2026. I'm rooting for you. Now, go make future you proud.